After your child has become comfortable with pointing and they think that they can move on to actually writing them down, I just take just a normal piece of notebook paper, but you'd be surprised how many times I've just grabbed something scrappy and used that. Remember, I'm trying to show you some inexpensive and quick ways to work with your child with what you have at your fingertips. So here's just a normal piece of notebook paper, and this time I'm going to flip the cards, and I want them to write the answer. The child will write the answer line by line by line. Not the problem, just the answers, that the child has to write. And so it would look like this. A card would be displayed, and the child would write 36 on the line of the paper. The next card displayed would be a 7 this time. So it would be 7 times 7, just the answer. 49 would go on the line underneath it, and so forth down the page. When the whole row is finished, just simply take the paper and fold it backwards. Fold it backwards so the answers that your child has just written are hidden, so they don't have a chance to copy them or look and see if they, what they said before. In fact, if you catch your child copying and looking back to see the answers, just simply cover the answers as you go. Sometimes I'll use a book or a ruler or something like that to just cover the sheet as we go along. So the answers would be 49, 64, and cover as they go. Cover, 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 cover. So there's a fresh space each time, and no distractions for the look back. The child has to think each time, and that's how they're committing them to memory anyway. So let me show you how that looks. I'll erase this chart so I can use the board for actually showing you the next step for using this. You don't know how much it pains me to erase all my work. This took a long time to put it on the board. Initially, I might leave this paper in front of the child so he or she can respond to it or review it if they need to, look over and take a peek at what the answers might be. But normally, after a while, I will say to the child, when you don't need that anymore, just turn it over. And then it's the child that is actually making the decision when he or she feels comfortable enough to not use that crutch. In the meantime, the chart is left out. So here's our first card, and remember, these are the answers that they're writing on the notebook paper. So here's the first one, and they would say, again, I don't really want them to talk to me. It doesn't matter if that same combination comes up twice in a row. That's kind of a gift, and that's fine. It just reinforces the answer. 3 times in a row. Then I usually joke, I'm such a great shuffler. Okay, I'm at the end of my paper now. So this is where we fold it over and start again. you can see how this repeats, and within 2 or 3 cards, they get a chance to again use the 49, the 7 times 7, and it's reinforced and it's reinforced. As we go along. Oops. And so forth. Hopefully at some point along the way, the paper is turned over. If a child doesn't want to turn the paper over, they're too worried about actually taking that plunge and doing it, then usually what I'll do is I will take this chart and I will put it out of their vision, uncomfortably out of their vision. It's still on the table, it still can be accessed, but they're basically having to look to find it, you know? So it's not easy for them to actually look for the answers. And at some point, they just sort of give it up because they actually do know them pretty well at that point.